Welcome to the GotFrag CPL Roundtable. I'm Scott Smith with GotFrag, and I'm proud to be joined by three of my fellow staff members here. On my left-hand side, I've got Trevor Midway Schmidt. Hi, Trevor. Mark Jesuit Cheben, and Brian Karpov Johnson. Let's get right into the questions, guys. This CPL has a very, very strong Counter-Strike field. Arguably maybe one of the best in several years. The debate has already started on the forums and in other places. Such a strong field, is double elimination as a style of running the tournament fair and efficient? Should it be group play into double elimination or a combination? Every organization is kind of starting to do things a little differently. Let's start with you, Trevor. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think the best format's a single elimination, best of three. I mean, I know that's not going to be the best for the players. They're going to want to play, have multiple opportunities. But for the tournaments, for the fans, they want to see the action. They want to see it, boom, right there. They don't want to have to be complicated by a double elimination format, this best of two at the end for a championship. It's hard to understand sometimes. So I think that the single elimination best of three is an amazing format. It has the most action-packed situation, and I think that's the best. Well, we'll see how that plays out at some of the other tournaments that do use that, like the ES World Cup.
Mark?
Well, for me personally, I like the double elim style of CPL just because it's the traditional CPL format. And now it only comes into certain problems when you have an event like this where teams that have been playing well around the world but haven't met in the CPL for so long, there's no way to seed these teams, perfectly. So like a round robin group play leading into a CPL style double elim bracket might be a compromise that would improve how the tournament flow and ran. But for after this event for the World Tour stops, I think a double elimination finals bracket is perfect. And maybe they want to change the second map of the finals to something else just to give the players something new.
Gotcha. And Brian, how about you? What you think?
Well, I would agree with both guys in the fact that I understand that the fans like the single elimination because it is a lot faster and you do get two maps. So it gives the teams a chance if they have one bad game, they can make it up. And I like the double elimination too because, if you have one bad game again, you can make it up. My favorite thing to do is have group play started off. That way, if a team gets lucky, then, they're not going to have the ultimate upset because, you don't get lucky twice. And if you do, well, then you're going to make a lot of money. So that's a good way to be.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys. Next question. Obviously, we're all very excited that Counter-Strike 1.6 is the World Tour game for 06. I mean, that's our strongest game at GotFrag, obviously. And now it's joined by Quake 4, which is in its own right a very, very strong, if not the number one DM game of all time. What's your general thoughts about the Quake 4 field? I
guess I'll start it off again. Looking at the field, I'm kind of curious to see how the guys like Cooler, the guys from the original Quake 3, how they stand up and play. I mean, if they can have a good tournament, maybe they can show that Quake 3 is similar to Quake 4, that it's going to be a transfer over. So that's what I'm going to be watching for, and I really like Cooler in this thing. I think you're going to see the reign of the Quake 3 guys.
Gotcha.
Well, the cool thing that I like about this tournament and Quake 4 is it brought together a lot of different DM communities. It brought together the UT guys, brought together the old Quake 3 guys. Immortal, Quake 2 CPL champion, has come back, started playing Quake 4. You also have people from team games like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, other maybe team-based shooters that don't have a place at the CPL are coming to Quake 4. So this tournament is going to be absolutely crazy, and it's going to be seeing, do the UT guys have the skills to compete with the Quake 3 guys on their own territory? And
Mark, don't you think, though, that because we have that tournament the way it's set up, because the way it's all these communities come together, the Quake 3 guys are going to have a little bit of an edge?
Well, they are because they're going to have, they're better known, they're bigger known players, so they have a chance to be put into a higher seed pool. I think the Quake tournament is going to be ran on two groupings. The known players are going to be the top seed pool, and then after that they're going to be randomized. So the Quake guys will have an advantage.
Seeds are going to be huge.
They're going to be huge, but it's a 256-person tournament, or at least on paper. So,
and a lot of them are showing up too. A lot of players that especially those guys that were in the Painkiller event, not going to be showing up.
So I mean, who knows where
the Voos, for example. So it really, if you get a lucky seed and get to face one of those guys, maybe if they don't eliminate them, be in a situation where you get a good advance. So yeah.
And two, with the game being so new, I mean, it's open. The door is open for anyone. Just like a player like I can't remember one DreamHack off the top of my head. I think it was Fox or Toxic. but those guys are going to have an edge. But how strong was the competition at DreamHack? You know, how strong were all these other competitions?
It's a lot of wide open.
Exactly.
And down to you to finish it off, Brian, for that one.
Like what Mark and Trevor were saying, I'm kind of disappointed too that some of the top players didn't show up at this event. But I'd say it was on somewhat short notice, so you can't hold it against them. But I think it'll be very interesting to see how the PK guys like the Gelisac and the Dailers and the Wombats that are here will place at this event.
All right, now gets the fun stuff, guys. I'm going to call you on the carpet and ask for some stuff out of you. You're going to make some enemies, you're going to make some friends in the next few minutes. So here we go. Two-part question. Back to Counter-Strike. Your pick for the team that loses to and barbecues, the old UGP motto. So the team that is supposed to do really well.
You mean you always get barbecued at UGP?
Hey now.
The good thing about barbecue is you get beer, right?
Yeah, and we are in Texas. It's the home, one of the homes of barbecue. So what team coming into this? Everyone is on their train. They should be doing really well. They're going to dog it. You first, Jesuit.
All right. Well,
and I'll get back to the second part after you guys all answer the first part.
Okay. So the bad one.
The team that's gonna lose to and barbecue.
All right. Well, I hate to say this because I like the guys on this team.
Say it.
But I'm going to say it anyway.
Say it.
JMC, Jack's Money Crew, benefited last CPL from, I would say, a split field of competition. With teams between ESWC and CPL. They played awesome. They took SK to the wire and got fourth place at the last event. This time, though, they've got to run the gamut, man. I mean, it's like,
come on, don't hold it back. Say it.
They're going to suck.
There you go.
Now, see, I'm going to call you on this. I'm supposed to be the unobjective guy here, but they didn't do too well in Korea, obviously.
No, they didn't.
But wouldn't that experience of being in the same room and scrimmaging, shouldn't they be a strong team at this point, whether they do well? I mean, should that help them?
Well, but they also picked up two new guys. I mean, Smoogler returned from their CPO lineup, and you also add Zid, who's been really good for UE online with the AWP. I don't know how well he's going to perform in a big LAN. I haven't seen him. I've seen him at Dallas area LANs where he played pretty good, but I haven't seen him on the big show. And the big show is where all the cards, the money's at. And I'm sorry, but coming in with a lineup like that, with the experience in Korea, and then changing your lineup, that's just not good.
All right, so no added bonus for the WEG time.
Oh, bonus, but it's negated by the fact that you got, new players. And
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, let's go to you next. Let's
okay. Well, I mean, I was looking at this tournament, and I really just one thing stood out to me. The United 5. I mean, I'm sticking with the American horse, and I know a lot of people aren't saying that they're going to come in and dominate like you were saying to start with, but it's just too open of a target. Anybody who picks up Element a couple of days before this tournament deserves to just get hammered. The kid is just absolutely... I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know why you would pick him up. And to add to that, Four Kings, the greatest thing that Four Kings has ever done, yes, UK fans, is to drop Element. So, excellent work. Finally, had done something right.
Oh, we're going to hear it. And Brian, your take on it.
Well, the past few CPLs, we've seen Rival has taken a third-place finish, and that's been like a trend for them, but at this CPL, I don't see this happening. A few days ago, I was at the LG Boot Camp, which is a pre-CPL event that happens every year, and teams get together, and, they try for some CPL cash, and Rival was playing absolutely horrible. Well, I couldn't believe some of the losses they take. Like, they lost to JMC, and that was a really big upset to me. So I say that they're not going to do very well this event.
Brian, why do you think, though? What makes you think they're not going to play well? I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch LG as close as I would have liked, and I know you had an opportunity to watch it. What do you think was the problem?
Well,
I mean, it's a similar lineup, though.
Yeah, it is a similar lineup, but a lot of it is they really weren't working together. We saw with them the West Coast style of offense and West Coast style of defense, too. They do their own thing, and they play super aggressive. And a lot of that is, they think they have better skills than everyone else. And, they do. They're very, very good players. But, when you've got a tournament like this, with it just stacked, I don't think it's going to go over very well.
Interesting.
You mentioned LG. Is there any kind of... Can we start any kind of... I don't know what the word is, but what's the history of someone who wins Laurent's LG tournament and someone who does well at CPL?
Very poor. There's a stigma there, definitely.
So it's like winning the par 3 at the Masters. If you win the par 3 at the Masters, you never win the Masters. So are we that way with LG?
I don't know if we're that strong with the comment, but we're close.
I would say it's pretty close. We've never seen someone completely dominate LG and then come back and completely dominate a CPL. We've seen a couple, top 16 finishes, but that's not much. But with that said, Complexity did win LG, and they're certainly a tournament favorite right now.
Well, and two, last CPL, Rival did win I can't remember the exact
They
time.
won the LG last year.
They won the LG and got third. So, I mean, to say that it's a point-and-point, you win, you lose.
Well, before that event, though.
Before that, oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you won LG, you didn't pass 13 through 16.
That was almost as bad as the De Beers curse.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah.
Okay, now the second part of that question is the positive side of this whole thing. A team coming in that is going to surprise people. True dark horse. No one expects them to place top 20, let alone do as well as they might. And we're going to go with you first, Jesuit.
Man, I'm going to go, and it's not really along the lines, so I'm going to say that B-Grip is going to surprise everybody. And the reason is that, yeah, they won, WEG 2, but they haven't really played anything since then. So, are they going to do well? Are they not? I mean, they could easily choke.
Basically, what you're saying is nobody's seen their demos in the past 6 months. Yeah, nobody's seen their demos,
so they don't know. We don't know if they're going to do really well or if they're going to bite the big one. So, I mean, I think that they're not exactly what you're looking for, but I think that B-Grip was the closest team out here that's going to fit that bill.
Have they been practicing or playing World of Warcraft since WEG 2 is the question, right?
I don't know, man.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Your turn, Trevor.
I guess I'll go next. And I looked at the seeds, and I've looked at how this thing's playing out, and I know EG played well last year. I mean, they second place. But this is a whole different tournament than last year. I'm sorry. No matter what you say, SK, EG, totally different field than it was last CPL, excuse me. So I look at that. EG comes in with a 4 seed. And no matter what anyone says, you got a 4 seed. If you don't place in the top 8 with a 4 seed, you've done something wrong. So I really think that they're going to surprise people because they're going to play better at this tournament because of that seed. Not because they're maybe a better team, but because they're going to face a little bit easier road along the way, end up with a pretty good finish out of this.
Yeah, I do believe that EG does have an easier road. That's true.
Absolutely.
But as far as their skill and the way they've been playing online, I know it's online, but the way they've been playing online, I really don't think that they're going to come up and surprise anyone.
I mean, the situation is that either if they play well or whoever plays them and upsets them is going to end up with a good seed, because that is an open spot in the bracket right now, in my opinion. Somebody's going to come through that hole, and if it's not EG, it's whoever beats them.
Fair enough. All right, guys, thanks for the answers. And the very last question, the big one. Top 3, first, second, third, come Sunday.
You can start with me?
We're going to start with actually Brian.
Oh, okay, we're going to go down there.
I'm going to have to go with 2 teams from Sweden, SK and B-Grip, for the simple reason that no one's really seen a lot of either team for the past few months. And then I'm also going to have to say Complexity, because whenever I've talked with other international teams, they tell me that Complexity has this fear that the other teams feel whenever they play them. They think that they're going to lose going into the match, and that's something I don't think any other team has right now.
Okay, so I need you to. So you're saying.
So I'm saying
first, second, third.
SK, B-Grip, and Complexity.
So SK for the win.
SK for the win.
All right. Actually, we'll go to Jesuit next. We'll save you for last, sir. Oh, jeez.
It's all over the place.
I'm all excited about that SK pick. Wow.
I'm looking for.
Wow, we got to fire this guy.
I'm looking for a kind of like a NIP X3 rematch here. I mean, we got the chance. We got the perfect thing. We got Heaton and Potty here. We got Rambo and K Sharp. So I'm going to say 3D is going to take this. Nip's going to get second, and B-Grip's going to get third.
All right. And to you.
I'm the only one who's going to stand up for the Germans here. I think Mouse is a top 3 team. I really believe it. They've got the lineup. There's not a very different lineup than the one that's basically placed at the top of every tournament for this whole year. It's the same one. It's not like WCG where they have a different lineup, and it's not Source. They're going to play well. They're top 3 team. I think they're going to be... They even have a shot to win this one. I think I'm going to pick them number 1. I'm going to go with 3D number 2. I really like the additions of Method. I think him at a tournament with them is the difference maker, and I think he's going to make a huge deal for them, so I like them at 2. And number 3, I'm really on the fence. I wanted to go with B-Grip. I really like B-Grip. I think they've got a shot, and again... I think they're the best team of the Swedish teams right now. I'd like to take NIP. I'd like to take SK, but I think B-Grip's a little bit more solid. I think they, like you guys said, they haven't been seen very much. They're going to come in, have an opportunity to play well, and I think they're going to be the team to beat out from Sweden.
So you're not going to pick 4 Kings for third?
No, I think I'll avoid 4 Kings.
All right, well, that's all we've got, guys, for this roundtable. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks, you guys, for your time. And make sure you keep it locked on www.gotfrag.com for all your esports needs.